Good evening, grave robbers, and welcome back to the television parkway. We're on a parkway.
Yes, we are.
This isn't the television graveyard at all.
It is not. We get to do the old intro. Who's ready for a podcast? Who's stuck in the car and has to do a podcast with me? Welcome back to another exciting episode of On the Road with Plus 2 Comedy. I am your host, as always, TV's Noel, and joined in the co-pilot chair by Laura Prince.
Hi.
Is this the energy you're going to have the whole time?
I'm tired.
Of course you're tired. That's why we're doing this.
Yeah, but how do you have so much energy?
Because it's showtime.
Okay.
So, just so you know what's going on, this is a show that we used to do. We haven't done it in like 3.5 years. Where
I think like one of the late night Otakons the last time we did this, when we were doing the midnight runs back in Otakon.
I think the late night Otakon is the I think it was like On the Road with Plus 2 Comedy, a retrospective on Beyond the Tentacle.
Yes.
But basically, there are times where we could not fulfill our usual duties as podcast hosts and do the normal show. So, we would do one of these shows because the pandemic has made a lot of people forget this. But we're touring stand-up comedians.
We are, as it turns out.
So, we had a show up in Massachusetts.
In Great Barrington, Massachusetts, in the beautiful Berkshire Mountains.
Yes, truly beautiful. What we're driving through right now is very beautiful.
I think that's how I knocked out the original recording. I think I tried to take a picture.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah, this is take 2.
This is like take 3.
A little behind the scenes for you guys. But we are driving back now, and we're not able to do a full Stay Tuned because we didn't have time to watch and record and do this show. So, this is like a replacement where we kind of talk on the drive.
Yeah.
And we reflect on the show we just did and talk about life in general. And you get to be in the car with us. It's what it's like to be on the road with Plus 2 Comedy.
It's not a quite accurate experience because I do make it a point to not road rage when we do these. And in real car with Plus 2 Comedy, I have yelled some swear words by now. Yeah, we're 2 minutes and 40 seconds in. I have yelled some swear words by now.
Oh, yeah, there's been some
on driving.
Yeah. But yeah, we are currently driving back. We had a show at the Miller's Pub, which it was the first show they've ever done.
Yes.
So, I think they're going to put a plaque up.
Yeah, we're the first couple to perform there.
Yeah. How exciting.
Our friend Chris Hale is the bartender.
Yes, you may know him as Vlad Radanoff.
And he got us the show. He was very excited. It was their Halloween party.
Yes. A fantastic time was had by all.
So there was a costume contest, there were specialty cocktails. It was very seasonal, it was very fun.
There was a haunted ghost decoration that was floating around running into people.
Yeah, it would just zip line. It would just zip line into people.
Yeah, incredible time. So yeah, thank you to Chris Hale and Miller's Pub for being so nice to book us for a show because we haven't been touring because of this damn pandemic.
The pandemic.
Yes, the damn pando. So we did our first show. It was a good time. It was more of a party atmosphere, so it's a little bit harder to pull the crowd in, especially because I got the vibe that this was a lot of people's first time out in a while.
Absolutely. Certainly the first Halloween, because last Halloween was a little bit of a nothing.
Yeah, it was really a nothing.
If you hear the sound of a bottle opening and closing, I am drinking the official post-show drink of Plus 2 Comedy, orange juice.
Orange juice. Yeah, because when Plus 2 Comedy started, I was much younger, because that's how time works. You're younger in the past.
What?
And took just awful care of my body. And we've since learned, like, you know, on these tours, it's probably important to have something with vitamins, maybe something green, instead of just eating garbage like we used to do.
Yeah.
There was the one.
We're still eating garbage.
We still eat garbage. So yeah, don't get me wrong. We still eat garbage. But it
classier garbage now, though.
Classier garbage.
Like we're eating out. If we're raccoons, we're eating out of the dumpsters of the nice restaurants.
But I remember it was Castle Point Anime Convention that started a new rule in Plus 2 comedy, which was the fork rule. And that meant that on every Plus 2 comedy tour, we had to have one meal that required a fork.
Oh no, we have not eaten a meal that's required a fork since Thursday night.
This is true. We didn't actually do that. We had quality burgers and a quality sandwich. But because Castle Point was the one where
we did eat sandwiches at places where one may use a fork.
Yeah, Castle Point was the convention that I was in the car and I realized that every food I had eaten had been deep fried and consumed while walking. I didn't sit down to eat the entire time because we were constantly running around. So that's why we instituted the fork rule.
Which we violated.
We did
in our first show back from the Pando.
We forgot the rules.
Actually, no, we had too many games, and we really did stick to that for too many games. We ate 2 meals over the course of too many games where we sat down.
Yeah, required a fork.
And a couple of car bagels.
A couple car bagels are always good, yeah. The fork rule can be, broken by a sandwich, I think.
My sandwich had a vegetable on it, so...
Yeah, I think, but we were walking around eating it.
Yeah,
so.
we went to a charming little farmer's market this morning in Great Barrington, and I got the all-day sandwich, and it had onion jam, arugula, bacon and egg on a nice brioche.
Yeah.
Yeah, I traveled all the way to Massachusetts and got a classic New Jersey breakfast sandwich.
Yeah. Well, there was no pork roll. That's what makes it New Jersey. But...
Nor was there salt, pepper, ketchup.
You know you're somewhere good where, you ask someone if you can, move, you ask the person in front of you in line if they can move over a little bit so you can read the menu, and they just turn around and go, it's really good, just get it. It's all right.
I was I still need to know what to order. I still need to know what the foods are called.
Yeah. And I also want to mention, at the show, I got to see some convention buddies came out to see us. My buddy Simon, who I met at BAMCon a bunch of years ago, came out. And he's wrestling now. So I got to talk to Simon about wrestling, which was super cool.
And our friend Kiwi from Shimmy Ninja.
Yes, Kiwi from Shimmy Ninja. And I really want to spotlight Kiwi because the first time I met Kiwi was at Nautica.
Yay!
And on the way back, we recorded an On the Road with Plus 2 Comedy, possibly on the same road I'm driving right now.
On the Taconic?
Yeah.
I feel like we've never been on this road before.
Well, you didn't go to the first Nautica.
I did not. I went to the second.
But, this road feels very familiar, but then again, it is just fall, trees, and road.
Yeah, it is... It's pretty.
Yeah, well, I was traveling on a road not unlike the one I am currently on. And we recorded it on the road with Plus 2 Comedy. And I said something like, we went to the Barfleet party and Shimmy Ninja was there. And they were in, Mean Girls costumes.
Yeah.
They were wearing, mouse ears. And they were like, I'm a mouse, duh.
Yay.
Thinking that I would never see them again. And then we ran into Shimmy Ninja, I believe at Inconceivable. And they immediately approached me and said, so we listened to that podcast?
Oh, no.
What did you say about our You said we had Mean Girl costumes? We were like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. So, we saw our friend Kiwi from Shimmy Ninja, and she was wearing a legitimate Freddy Krueger costume.
It was. The glove lost some nails over the course of the night.
Yeah, she went from normal Freddy Krueger to shocker Freddy Krueger to just broken Freddy Krueger.
And her friend with her was Beryl from Nightmare Before Christmas. Yeah, we did not dress up because it was really cold.
One, it was really cold. Two, I don't believe in doing stand-up in a costume. Just because you have to address it.
Right.
Because back in the day, I used to cosplay at conventions as Speed Racer. And I would do panels as Speed Racer.
Right.
But when it was comedy time, I always had a normal t-shirt on under the costume. And I would just take off the helmet, the gloves, and the costume shirt. But it did mean I did a lot of stand-up in white pants.
You did?
Yeah.
My favorite story with you as Speed Racer was when you got hit by a car.
This is true. This is true. We were getting ready for Zen.
Yeah, we were at, like, the Walmart by your parents' house.
Yeah, and we had to go to Zen Kaikon, but we needed something. So I was in cosplay in a Walmart, which is always fun. And we did not end up on peopleofwalmart.com because I checked. But as we're walking back to the car, someone backed out into me. And it was incredible because you saw it.
Yeah.
You stopped. And I just kept walking. And it hit me in such a way that, like, it kind of swept my legs out from under me. So I ended up, like, on the trunk. And they just kept moving.
Yeah.
So I ended up banging on the trunk.
As I harpy screamed.
Yeah. And then they stopped, which caused me to, like, fly off. And I just hit pavement. And
then they argued with me that I was overreacting.
Well, they used the classic argument of, we didn't do it on purpose. And I yelled from the ground, doesn't make it hurt less. And
then they were mad at me. They were like, we didn't do it on purpose. There's no reason to scream at him. Which led to me in a Walmart parking lot, possibly dressed as Robin.
I think you may have been dressed as Robin.
Screaming, you hit my boyfriend with a car.
Yeah.
Oh, I was pissed.
They did kind of understand after you said that. They did become like, oh, that's a good point.
Oh, yeah, you make some good points. We did hit your boyfriend with a car.
And then they asked if, like, I needed an ambulance. I was like, no, it's fine. I think I made a joke about wearing red socks. Which they did not get.
Oh, you mean they didn't get your deep-cut Speed Racer lore joke?
How dare they?
Jesus Christ.
And then I just remember, like, I got into the car, and, like, I was hurt but not injured. And I just remember, like, sitting in the car for a moment and them, like, circling me. Just to, like, I don't know. I think they were afraid we were going to call the cops and then it was going to be a hit and run.
Yeah, I think they didn't want to leave just in case. Because, like, Walmart parking lots have cameras.
Yeah.
Like, if you had reported it as a hit and run, they would have probably been found.
Yeah.
I remember the car was beige, and I remember nothing else.
I remember there were 3 people in the car. I think it was a husband, a wife, and a adult son.
Yeah. But whenever I think of you dressed as Speed Racer, that's one of my favorite con travel stories.
What's your favorite story, Laura? I like the one where Noah gets hit by a car.
You're fine.
Well, I remember that's also the show where I opened with, did everybody have fun today? And everybody clapped. It was like, did anybody get hit by a car today? And more people clapped.
Yay! I like the part where Noah gets hit by a car.
Maybe I'm not alone in this. So yeah, that's the story of me getting hit by a car.
While dressed as Speed Racer.
Dressed as Speed Racer. I had a helmet. It was fine.
Yeah, I never do shows in cosplay because usually, like, girls' costumes tend to be more uncomfortable and restrictive.
Yeah.
And it's kind of tough to do comedy in those kinds of outfits.
Yeah, it's okay to do panels, because, like, there's a couple pictures of me doing panels as Speed Racer. I know you did a panel as Emma Frost.
Yeah, about feminism in comic books.
Yes, where you almost killed him. You want to tell that story?
Oh, I don't remember. I think I rage blacked out.
I was sitting in the audience with your friends, and it was just about...
My friends were really sweet and had come to support me.
It wasn't just about women, though. It was about representation.
It was about social justice in comic books.
Yeah, because, like, we talked about, like, disabled representation in comic books, and
LGBTQIA representation, racial representation. Now, and this was a long time ago. This was like pre-Black Panther being a film.
Yeah. But we were at Wizard World Philly, and the moderator made a classic mistake where he took a question from the crowd, and the guy claimed, it might be true, but claimed that he was a writer for Wonder Woman. And the guy just went, well, then come on stage.
Oh.
And I've been at comedy shows where someone has made that mistake, and it's a mistake.
Yeah.
And this dude got on stage and was just like, yeah, the biggest problem with Wonder Woman is she's bland. She's a bland character. And your friend poked me and went, Laura's dissociating. And, like, we watched, like, this stare, like, enter your eyes. And this dude was just on this rant of, like, if you try to read those old Wonder Woman comics, you can't, because they're bland. The truth be told is she should be a lesbian, because she's never seen men, so she should hate men. She should be a man-hating lesbian. And you just snapped. Like, I don't think Wonder Woman's bland.
Noah claims when I get angry enough and I turn my head, you can hear it ratchet like a roller coaster. Like like when you're going up a lift hill, that
Yeah.
Noah claims you can hear it if I'm mad enough.
And then there's a big, like, inhale, which is, like, the moment before the roller coaster drop. Like, she's not bland!
That was a weird panel, because it was...
So weird.
It was coordinated by a few different people, and I think they realized that it was a social justice panel. I think this was back in, like, 2013, 2014.
Yeah. With a bunch of white dudes.
And they had not asked anyone who was not a white cisgender heterosexual guy.
Yeah.
And then they were like, oh, we should ask someone who's not that demographic.
Yeah. Let it be known. It was a good panel up until that point.
Yeah.
I forget his name, the guy who ran it, but
I don't remember
it was
either.
a fun little panel.
Yeah, we never did it. I never did it again. Probably because I yelled at somebody.
Well, I just remember his respect for you, because you asked, like, a question about being unsure about something, and he responded with something like, I read your blog. You know what you're talking about.
Oh, because I was like, hey, I'm some rando. Like, I didn't try to get booked on this panel. I was like, just so you know, I have no degree in this. I have no experience. I am a friendly rando. Like, now I've actually taught courses about graphic literature at Literature.
Yeah.
And I have, like, more credibility now than I did back then. But I haven't done anything about education in comic books since.
In half a mile, keep right to stay on Taconic State Parkway.
Yeah, we're really driving. But I just had another memory of there was the one Wizard World where we had a show, or I had a show, you weren't doing comedy yet, on South Street.
Yeah,
Keep
look,
right
not
to
a rest
stay on
stop.
Taconic
Yeah.
State Parkway.
Yeah, we're not going into what is not a rest stop. There's one little stop
Continue on Taconic State Parkway for 9 miles.
On the Taconic State Parkway.
Yeah. And it's called, like, the Taste of New York. And it's like a tiny house littered with porta potties.
It does look like there's one classy bathroom trailer.
The word trailer's still being used there.
I've been to the PHS Gardens in
Yeah.
Philly. They have those nice bathroom trailers. And I have no qualms about using a bathroom trailer. I'm not too good for that. I have to be truly desperate to go to a porta potty for help.
Yeah. But what I was saying was I had that show on South Street.
Yes. Oh, I love this guy.
You were dressed as Power Girl. And, like, but you were far enough from the convention that, like...
I was just walking around Philly dressed as Power Girl for no apparent reason.
Making people's days. Like, every once in a while I'd be like, oh, he's Power Girl.
Yeah, like, I have to say, I had some issues in the con with how I was spoken to. Outside of the con, con, everyone was super nice. What was strange was everyone outside the con knew exactly who I was, too. Anyone who commented was like, oh my god, it's Power Girl.
But that was also one of the cons I was dressed as Speed Racer for.
Yes.
And the show was booked by my friend from the I Like to Movie podcast, Dan Scully.
Hi, Dan.
Dan has booked me for maybe 4 shows. I've shown up in costume for all of them. And he has never once asked me to. Because I was on the I Like to Movie podcast for Back to the Future 2. And I showed up in my hoverboard shirt with my Back to the Future 2 hat.
And you had the puffer vest.
And the puffer vest. And he was like, oh, it's nice of you to dress up. It's audio only. I was like, I know, I don't care. And then he asked me to do Movie Live, which was like this live game show with a crowd. Star Wars edition. And I showed up as Luke Skywalker from Dagobah. So I had like a backpack with Yoda in it. And he didn't recognize me because it was the first time he'd seen me without glasses. He's like, you didn't have to do that. I was like, I know.
That costume has traveled.
Yeah, I love that costume though. It's fun.
Because you wore it to do a couple's costume with me.
Yes, when you were R2-D2.
And my R2-D2 was charmingly homespun. I bought like a t-shirt dress, and all of the detailing was duct tape.
Yes.
And so it was like this cute little duct tape and regular dress. All the accessories were made out of duct tape. Because this was a while ago. Now you can buy like the foam for cosplay in the store under like a cosplay branding.
Yeah.
Because my Michaels had like a cosplay kiosk over the summer.
Section now.
Of like, here's the stuff you need for cosplay. And I was like, grumble. I'm out of the game now. I'm old. I'm too old for this.
I don't know. I feel like I will never fully get out of cosplay. Like, I definitely think that, like, when I'm an old man, like, I'm the Master Roshi cosplayer.
Yeah.
Hopefully there will be an old man who is less problematic that I can cosplay by then, but...
I mean, there's Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Yeah, like an Obi-Wan or an old Steve Rogers.
Yeah. Joe Biden.
Yeah, Joe Biden. But I've always respected when I went to a con and saw, like, an actual old man Master Roshi. I'm like, yes!
I mean,
Keep fun in your life. I'm
seeing a lot of older couples do General Leia and grown-ass Han.
That is good, too. I'm a big fan of that. So I do have a Stay Doomed topic that I wanted to throw out there. This is something that's been, like, in the back of my mind for a while, but I don't think it's a big enough question to be an entire episode, but it's totally good for a segment on the road to +2 comedy. And that are the shows that we've wanted to do, only to realize they've run more than one season.
What's good, Muppets Tonight?
Yeah, Muppets Tonight's a good one because they technically ran 2. They ran one on ABC and one on the Disney Channel.
Yeah.
Which we also found out to be true about Erie, Indiana.
Yeah, it ran a season on Disney and it ran a season on, like, Fox.
Yeah, it's technically branded differently.
Yeah, we were talking about these shows as Double Doomed.
Yeah.
I believe Clueless, which ran on TGIF.
Oh, I think Clueless ran way more than 2.
I thought it ran 2. I thought it ran on one season on ABC and one on, I believe, UPN.
Yeah.
I was trying to remember which of the non-Fox extra channels.
I remember it ran in syndication on Comedy Central. So, to run in syndication, you have to make 100 episodes.
Not necessarily for Comedy Central.
True. You're supposed to.
Because Comedy Central will run a lot of stuff that did not make it to 100.
Technically, Clerks, the animated series, ran in syndication. That was, 6?
Yeah.
6 episodes.
I ran a search, but we're in, like, kind of a dead area, so I can't get a,
Yeah. Well, I know there are 2 that I always pitch. Oh no, hiccups.
Oh boy.
There are 2 that I always pitch and always forget ran The Swan,
Oof.
which is a plastic surgery competition show where a group of ugly ducklings gets plastic surgery, and then they judge on who's the prettiest post-surgery.
Ugh.
And they are crowned the Swan. And I remember that one specifically because the winner of the Swan went on to do another show that we were gonna do for Stay Tuned, but then we didn't find all of it. Battle of the Reality Show Stars. And she was a contestant on that. And it was very strange in that she looked like she used to look.
Yeah.
Like, the plastic surgery didn't stick.
Didn't, like, tape.
Yeah, it was very
fillers
interesting.
will eventually, like, dissolve.
Yeah, and, like, her perm fell out. And I was like, that's interesting to think about. Because the big thing about the Swan was you weren't allowed to look in a mirror for a month.
Oh, that's weird.
So that they could, like, reveal to you how you looked. And someone got thrown out for, like, using a spoon or something.
Weird.
Yeah, it had a lot of good Stay Doomed fodder. Like, that's the type of, like, bits of trivia we love discussing.
Yeah.
But it ran a second season.
Clueless ran 3 seasons. It ran 2 seasons on UPN.
Okay. I know the other one I always bring up just because it was so highly recommended to us, but it did in fact run 2 seasons, but I think it's still only like 12 episodes, is Party Down.
Yeah, the Party Down always comes up.
Party Down is a comedy about the caterers of a, like, party venue.
Yeah.
And it's a lot of the people from the state.
Yeah. It's Stay Tuned alum Adam Scott.
Adam Scott, yes. I think Audrey Plaza might also make an appearance in that.
I'm not sure if Audrey...
No, the other one. The other one from Mike and Larry Need Wedding Dates. Kendrick. Anna Kendrick? Yes.
Mike and Larry Need Wedding Dates.
It's Mike and something Need Wedding Dates.
Yeah, I think it's like Mike and Dave.
Mike and Dave Need Wedding Dates. Which I never saw. Looked like a good movie.
Yeah.
It felt very Romy and Michelle's high school reunion.
Yeah.
Which is a film I did see and love. And now we're in a bit of a slowdown.
We're behind a bus.
Well, also the speed limit just dropped.
Oh, okay. I was like, oh, we're just behind this slow
keep
bus.
left to stay on Taconic State Parkway.
Any other ones that pop into your brain as something that were like, oh, we should do this? Wait, it ran too long.
Not a lot of cartoons run technically 1 season, but they're so
Keep left to stay on
children's.
Taconic State
Hold on.
Parkway.
You good? Okay. Children's shows tend to run very long seasons.
Yeah.
Because
Continue for 46 miles.
Will do.
You good? Yeah, good.
You got 46 miles now to get this thought out.
So we probably have like 36 because she'll talk like 10 miles before. Ooh, look at the trees. Sorry, we're in a really pretty part of the drive. So a lot of kids' TV shows run very long seasons because it's kind of hard to get canceled mid-season as a kid show because people tend to think their younger audiences are kind of stupid.
Yeah.
So they don't respect their audience. They kind of are just like, no, you're fine. You can watch this, even if it sucks.
Because I know...
King Kong, the series is one we looked at.
We looked at King Kong, the series, because it was like a hidden thing on HBO Max.
Yeah, we're up to 55 again.
Yeah, I'm going to get away from this bus.
Yeah.
And we're like, 1 season, and it's a King Kong cartoon. That looks, it's 40 episodes.
Yeah, and it was like 40 full half hours, not 20 half. Like, and the other issue is, these shows tend to be so repetitive, we can't really make them into, like, 2-parters.
Right. Like it sucks to be like, all right, well, join us next time where you will hear us say basically the same thing.
Yeah, like, reality shows tend to make pretty good two-parters, and dramas, we're at the point where, like, if we're doing a 13-hour drama, we've accepted it's going to be a two-parter. Even on a show like Push.
Yeah. Because
I thought about Push Nevada a lot last night when everything was closed at, like, 9 o'clock.
Yeah. Because they all have to have sex at 9:50. And, like, it's definitely tough when we're choosing our shows. Because, like, one of the shows that I think should have been a bad episode, but surprisingly wasn't, was Vampires.
Vampires.
Because it was very repetitive. It was just like, the kids are doing a thing, they turn into vampires, they defeat the thing, and then that's it. Repeat.
Yeah.
Because it's
repeat ad nauseum for 13 episodes.
Yeah, it's the same people who made, like, Power Rangers. So, like, you know what you're going to get in Power Rangers. It's going to be like, there's a lesson they're supposed to learn. They fight they fight the putties.
Yeah.
Then the monster shows up, which is somehow a, like, monster representation of whatever the lesson was. That makes them morph. They lose to the monster. They learn the lesson. They defeat the monster. Then the monster grows. Then they call in Megazord. And if you're really good, they'll call in Dragonzord. Not always, but sometimes.
If you close your eyes and wish real hard. Yeah, these shows are a little rough to do as episodes, and they're just kind of like, the cost-benefit is not there.
Yeah.
Because we learned that the hard way with Nightmare Ned.
Nightmare Ned, it was a big learning experience of, like, maybe cartoons are not great.
Yeah, and Nightmare Ned was so repetitive. Nightmare Ned's actually one of the few that stuff was lost and we just kept doing it anyway. Because we were so invested. Like, we were so...
it's so much time sink.
Yeah, and we were like, I don't want to not do this show just because we can't find one episode.
Yeah. There's nothing worse than finding out mid-watching the show that stuff's missing.
Yeah.
Because I know that there was a show where we were a few episodes deep before realizing, like, no, there's stuff missing. And, like, our kind of rule is if, like, let's say there are 9 episodes, but 6 of them never aired.
Yeah.
Then we can be like, okay, we'll just do the 3 that aired.
Yeah.
Because the other 6 are, like, not available. But if it's like, yeah, this is 9 episodes, and 6 aired but are missing, well, then it's like, well, now we're not covering the full thing.
That aired.
Because that was also a debate with episode 3, I Want to Marry Harry, because there were unaired episodes of I Want to Marry Harry.
Right, because it never aired they didn't air in the U.S.
They didn't air, but they were available. So it was like, well, do we have to watch these? And I think we do. And we did. Because that is the main reason we have not done, like, the number one thing that's been on the list since Stay Doomed started. Dr. Facehands.
Do No Harm.
Do No Harm. Because all 1 hour, 13 episodes are available on YouTube for purchase. But only 2 ever aired. So, like, it seems like an easy, like, knock it out of the park.
Oh, we'll just do the 2 episodes.
Day.
Yeah.
But it's like, no, you kind of have to do all of this. Because part of our show is, like, speculating on how do you save this, what would season 2 look like, and if those answers might exist in those episodes, we kind of have to be aware of them.
And it's interesting because we also have the, you know, a lot of shows start out a little crappy and get better that we've watched.
Yeah.
We're like, oh, I see why this failed, because, you know, the first episode or 2 are hot trash.
Yeah.
And then it picks up.
I mean, like, Community doesn't become Community for, like, 6 episodes.
Yeah. Community, Parks and Rec has that abysmal first season.
Yeah. Because I remember actually being like, let's just throw on some Parks and Rec for fun. And you were like, skip the first season. I was like, okay, sure. And we started in season 2, and that guy was still there.
Yeah, we realized that Mark was still in the show in season 2.
Mark is still here? Ew.
Because, like, Parks and Rec, as you know it, is seasons, like, 3, 4, and 5.
Yeah. Because Mark Traeger doesn't show up until...
Chris Traeger,
excuse me. Chris Traeger doesn't show up until, like, mid-season 2.
Yeah, and Ben.
And Ben Wyatt, yeah.
Because they show up together.
And Ben and Leslie hate each other.
Yeah, at one point, like... But they have, like, a very good, believable relationship.
Yeah.
Oh my god, I do love Parks and Rec. It's one of my favorites.
It really is a fantastic show. Just, oh man, a cast that clicks. And like, there are people who are not the greatest in that.
Yeah.
But none of the characters are dislikable. Like...
I hate Tom.
You hate Tom? I was actually going to say, like, Tom has his issues, but, like, his heart is in the right place.
I don't care for Tom.
But without Tom, there's no John Ralphio.
I think I could have taken Tom more if he was treated like John Ralphio, if they were kind of more like those two guys. If Tom was not a lead.
Alright.
The only times I really like Tom are when, like, he's paired with Donna.
Yeah.
Because Donna is such a great character.
Treat yourself.
Like, Donna is such a great character that she kind of elevates whoever she's with. One of my favorite episodes of April is the one where she's trying to figure out what dog breed Donna is.
Oh, that's super late. That's last season.
And then she figures out that Donna's a cat.
Yes.
Oh, and the moment with Donna and Jerry. Donna's such a great character. And that's like, anytime she's paired with anybody, it elevates the other character so much. Because Donna is just so good at it.
Because that's the episode I decided I loved Billy Eichner.
I want to ride horses.
Because they assigned Billy Eichner is like an unkept chihuahua.
Yeah.
And he's like, if you say that that's my dog, I'm literally going to stab you in the face. It's your dog. I guess you're right.
Oh, boy. I never warmed up to him as a character.
I think he's so funny.
You know what it is? More than anyone else in the show, I never felt like he was playing a character.
He was just being him.
He was being the character of Billy Eichner.
Yeah, he's being Billy on the street.
Yeah. And, like, that's fine, but it didn't make him... He didn't seem to fit in.
Well, I love Billy Eichner as the librarian in Bob's Burgers.
Yes.
Because what a great casting choice to pick the loudest man and make him a librarian.
But he's not as Billy Eichner. Like, he's playing the librarian.
Well, he freaks out and whispers.
Yeah.
Which is so funny, because it's Billy Eichner.
Yeah, I do like him in Bob's Burgers.
Yes.
I love him in Billy in the Street.
Mm-hmm. And, like, underrated superstar, just in general. One of my favorite people, because she's always so funny. And I feel really bad, because I don't know her name.
All right.
But Sarah Silverman's sister.
Oh, yeah.
So goddamn funny. And because Sarah Silverman and her sister play Ollie and, what's the other twin's name?
I'm looking at Bob's Burgers twins because I don't...
Because that's probably worse in that, like, Ollie is probably Sarah Silverman.
Oh, they're Ollie and Andy.
Andy, yes.
I didn't need to look that up. I realized it as I was... Because I am not getting great reception up here. Mm-hmm. So anytime I'm like, I'll Google it. 20 minutes later. I want to say Sarah's sister is Laura?
It might be Laura. It might be Laura Silverman. A name I should remember. But the Sarah Silverman program on Comedy Central, again, I think it's another one that ran 2 seasons.
Yeah.
But so unbelievable unbelievably funny.
Yeah, Sarah is Ollie, Laura is Andy.
That's perfect.
And it is, in fact, Laura.
That's perfect. Because I remember Laura Silverman plays Sarah Silverman's sister in the Sarah Silverman program. And I remember being like, who is this girl? Oh my God, that's actually her sister? She's really funny. Because she's kind of like the straight man for Sarah Silverman.
Yeah.
And there's a moment in the Sarah Silverman program where, like, after all the troubles they're going through, Sarah, like, almost dies.
Yeah.
And Laura goes, oh my God, I can't even imagine what it'd be like if you were dead. And, like, she's covered, she has this fantasy of, like, she's covered in diamonds and she's drinking champagne.
Like the idea if she didn't have to take care of Sarah.
That her life would be so much better. Oh my God, it killed me. The fact that the Sarah Silverman program is not like a cult classic, the way like Strangers with Candy and like Clone High is a crime.
Yeah.
Because goddamn, that show was so funny.
So, yeah, I mean, there's a lot of really... Because Katherine Hahn is in late Parks and Rec.
Oh, yes!
She's the campaign manager.
She's the and man, she kills every character she does. She's so wonderful.
Yeah, she is... She's starting to get her flowers now after...
after Agatha.
And I believe she has been greenlit for a Disney Plus series about Agatha.
Good.
So...
Good.
Because she was a runaway Black Horse, runaway Ensemble Dark Horse.
Yes. So good. God, I love her. Oh boy. So we got like an hour and a half left, or 2.5 hours left of this drive.
Yeah, now we will probably, when we start moving toward getting off the Taconic, we'll probably wrap it up.
Yeah.
Because you'll have the harder driving to do.
Yeah. This is also to keep us sane.
Yeah. It's very beautiful through here,
It's very
though.
beautiful, but like...
It's a shame. It was raining and kind of crappy through Great Barrington.
Mm-hmm.
It's so gorgeous.
Oh, and yeah, now it's just lovely.
Yeah.
Skies shining at me.
Yeah, we drove out of the bad weather, and now we're driving south into, like, softer, gentler, kinder weather.
Yeah.
Which will be nice. I mean, you said we had, what, 2.5 hours?
2.5 hours left of this drive. Yeah.
Alright, so we'll be home at, like, 6. Cool.
Yeah.
Because we're inevitably going to stop and, like, go to the bathroom and get a snack.
I imagine, yeah.
But, yeah, like, it's very... I do love doing Stay Doomed, but there's shows that, like, just don't fit, even if they technically fit.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's shows that fit even though they don't actually follow the rules.
Yeah.
Which I find really interesting, of, like, shows that ran a couple of seasons but really do fit the spirit of Stay Doomed. Like a Muppets Tonight.
Yeah. Like Muppets Tonight, maybe we will do a 2-episode wonder of that. Because there are a few genres of shows that I've always wanted to do that we've never have.
Yeah.
Because, like, the hour-long drama, like, there's so much to talk about, they always extend into, like, multiple episodes.
Oh, yeah.
But there are more of those, like, I really want to do. I want to do Awake.
Yeah.
I want to
Terra Nova.
Terra Nova, like, so bad.
The Event.
The Event? I get that mixed up with Revolution?
Yeah, Revolution ran a couple seasons.
Okay.
The Event, I just find really interesting because they really did market it on what is the event. And so they marketed it around, like, the fact that no one knew what it was about.
Another big one is Flash Forward.
Yeah.
Because I was super into Flash Forward. But, like, it has a mid-season break. Like, I know it's long. And Daybreak? That was another one that was, like, always on the list.
Yeah.
But then, like, I've always wanted to do a variety show.
Yeah.
And there's been a few that I've pointed to, there it is. We just need to find it. We can never find it.
Variety shows are tough. I'm inclined to think they get pulled down from YouTube very quickly with copyright.
Yeah. Because there's so many, music. And
there's so much music that I could see that the copyright owners of the music strike it.
Because, the Osbournes had one.
Woof.
And, it lasted an episode. I think Carol Barnett had one that ran one season, besides the Carol Barnett show.
Yeah, I was going to say, the Carol Burnett show ran forever.
She came back and it was just called, Carol.
Yeah.
And it only ran one season. I'd love to do that. And I've always wanted to do a talk show.
We want to do the Chevy Chase show.
The Chevy Chase show, and also the Magic Hour.
Yeah.
Which was Magic Johnson's.
Oh, wow. I didn't know that existed.
Yeah. That ran one season, and the new Tom Green show. Which
was the Green Tom show. Yeah, good.
Good reference. Good reference.
Deep cut early 2000s jokes.
But, it was the Tom Green show if it was a normal in quotes, talk show.
Okay.
So, I remember he brought on Weird Al.
Oh, boy.
And while he's interviewing him, he breaks out, 2 tin cans connected by a string.
Yeah.
And, he tries to interview him using that.
Yeah.
And then, he interviews Chris Jericho.
Oh, God.
But only wants to talk to him about obscure Canadian television.
Okay.
Which was funny. And then they had this bit every week called Where Will Glenn Humplick Sleep Tonight? Because Glenn was his friend.
Yeah.
And on Monday they would reveal your choices. Tuesday they would reveal what won. And then Wednesday was the recap of him attempting to sleep in whatever place.
Give me examples of what kind of place.
A 24-hour disco workout gym.
Okay.
A raft in a motel swimming pool.
Oh my God.
Wee Man's house.
Was Wee Man aware?
Yes.
Okay.
But he was just Wee Man has invited Glenn to sleep in his house and has bought a lot of firecrackers.
Yeah, I feel like you wouldn't be able to stay in a Jackass alum's house without it being not what you bargained for.
So, it was still the spirit of the Tom Green show.
Yeah.
But, it wasn't the Tom Green show.
Yeah, it tried to have a sheen of respectability, but not really.
So, I dug it, and I think it only ran, 2 months.
Yeah.
But that means it ran 40 episodes.
Yeah. Same with the Chevy Chase show.
Yeah.
These shows are tough for that, because they're putting out half an hour to an hour of content 5 days a week.
Now, we have done a talk show.
Yeah, we did What's Going On with Mike Mitchell.
With Mike Mitchell. Which I didn't realize Mike Mitchell had, a rabid fan base.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people were how do you not know who Mike Mitchell is? I was I don't know, I'm sorry.
Yeah. It's tough. I mean, there's a lot of shows that just logistically are difficult to do.
Yeah.
I do like finding weird curios, like Cartoon Lost and Found.
Yeah.
That's what I got into this business to do.
I do love doing specials.
Yeah.
Which, we have debated whether or not they count, but they are fun to do.
I do actually have them filed separately. I have a master list of the episodes, and I have what I consider main episodes, and then anything that is a film, like a Razzie Month episode, or a special, or something of that nature, I do file differently.
Because, I have a very soft spot for The Secret of Al Capone's Vault as an episode. Because it's so funny.
Oh my God, we were so angry. What are you doing?
Jeep, yeah, if you could stay the fuck in your lane. There's the cursing.
Yeah, welcome to the, you're on your phone. I have my iPad in my lap, but I'm not driving. We're recording on my iPad.
Yeah.
I'm not driving, so it's fine.
It's fine.
I can iPad all I want. Hi, iPad. Anyway. Yeah, we have a lot of... I have a lot of fun doing the weird stuff. I love Eaten Alive as an episode.
Eaten Alive's great.
Where he doesn't get eaten by a snake and we're just, like, real mad about it.
I wish we were more, proactive and confident in reaching out to people during that time.
Yeah. I would have loved to have talked to the guy who didn't get eaten by a snake.
I think his name was?
Yeah.
I definitely would love to have a conversation.
Watch this. Okay.
So what do you think about your time spent inside that snake?
We talked about on the way up here that we should have asked Laurel if she wanted to do the show with us.
Yeah.
So this was almost the weirdest episode of Plus 2 Comedy on the Road because it would have just been like, and also Laurel is here.
Laurel's here again.
We've just adopted her and taken her in.
And we just don't talk about Kid Nation at all.
We just talk about shows she likes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I hope we were able to do more. Because we'd started to reach out. We'd been in contact with several members of the Quest.
Yeah.
And
that's never materialized.
I ended up having some, like, real life not fun problems.
Yeah.
With family illness, and then it just became difficult to coordinate.
Yeah. Maybe we'll talk to someone before, like, the next season debuts.
Yeah, when they're, like, gonna announce... Like, they haven't announced the date. I know they are filming. And, like, I want to do Killer Camp, but I want to wait until the last 6 episodes get burned off somewhere. Because they are completed.
Yes.
Of season 2. See, that's what I mean. Killer Camp season 1 is one that does not technically fit the mold, but really feels like it does.
Yeah. I mean, Killer Camp was done because we had that deadlock tie for our bonus episode.
Yeah.
I was like, let's just do this as an episode to Stay Doomed. Nobody complained.
Yeah, it was a great episode. I did at one point... I think I'm Twitter mutuals with Holly from Killer Camp now.
Mm-hmm. I know she followed us when we put our episode out, yeah.
I would love to talk to Bobby Mayer about Killer Camp.
Oh, I would like to talk to Bobby about anything.
You would like to be friends with and possibly single white female Bobby.
Yes.
And take his job.
Yes, I'd like to beat him.
Not creepy at all. It's funny, anytime I see the Trapper from Dead by Daylight, it's just, I think of Bruce from Killer Camp. We were at a party last night, where we were at the Halloween party that was our show.
Yeah.
And somebody was dressed as a coach, but he looked like Rob from Killer Camp. To the point where I thought that was his costume. I had that moment of is he Rob from Killer Camp?
I think he was a wrestling coach. Because somebody tried to wrestle him.
I keep yawning because of the changing elevation.
Oh yeah, my ears are popping like mad.
So it's one of those things of I feel bad because I'm yawning through words, but it's also just my ears keep. This is a very hilly, mountainous road.
Yeah, I just keep drinking Mountain Dew. The GPS just shut off.
All right, let me fix that.
GPS was just fuck it, I'm out.
I mean, we hadn't touched it in a while. Ooh, you have a friend request.
Yeah, I've been getting a lot of spam friend requests on the old Facebook as of late.
So it's not a personal friend of yours?
I doubt it. I haven't looked, but unless it's someone from the show last night, I don't think I made a friend.
Your route may be affected by mid-Atlantic floods.
Oh, great.
Oh, all right.
Super.
Exciting to hear.
But yeah, I remember the show was supposed to end after Opposite Worlds.
Yes.
And then Opposite Worlds was so much fun. It reminded us why we did the show.
Yeah. Well, that was also the one that broke us of what I believed was the promise we made to the audience, which was 1 season, 1 episode. And then you're like, let's just do a 2-parter. It's fine, the show's ending. I'll break my promise. This is so much better. Let's just do this forever.
Yeah, and I had been pushing for multiple episodes for some time at that point.
Yeah.
And so it was so much better.
I know one thing that we've been considering is putting a poll out to see if we should just redo Cop Rock as a two-parter.
Yeah, I would love to. I would have loved to put this on the Discord, but I couldn't get on the Discord in the mountains. Yeah. I couldn't get enough service to get on to Discord. And I would have loved to say, like, what shows would you like us to redo? There's certain shows I don't feel we would need to redo.
Cop Rock's the only one that, like, stands out in my brain. Because I know I fixed Gotti. Yeah. Because there was, like, audio problems with Gotti. So I went in and, like, adjusted levels. It was like, and I put up, like...
Gotti Remastered,
yeah. But, like, other than that, I don't think there was anything that we ever really, like, just didn't do our due diligence for, other than Cop Rock.
I'm trying to think of shows. I'm thinking of, like, main run shows. I think there are a few that could have benefited from the two-parter treatment.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think, purely on a selfish level, I think it would have been fun to do Daisy of Love.
As a two-parter?
Yeah. Purely on a selfish level. And then we have the shows that we kind of discussed, like, does this count as a separate show? Because I would say Rock of Love Bus.
Yeah, I mean, technically, we did decide that Amazing Race Family Edition was a different show. But, like, the difference, I think, is Rock of Love Bus, to me, kind of falls into the category of, like, Survivor Africa.
Oh, you're not changing it enough?
Yeah. It's just like, you've changed the location, but it is still this show.
Because I'm considering pushing, when it begins to air, to do the new season of The Amazing Race. The pandemic season.
Oh, because we would be discussing whether or not they should have just scrapped that season.
Yeah, I'm really intrigued to see how they do it.
Yeah, for those of you who don't know, they stopped The Amazing Race halfway through because of COVID.
Yeah, they were filming, they pulled everyone home, but then it appears they had just resumed the race.
Yeah.
But I'd love to see how they do that. I'm not sure when that starts to air. It's probably got to be kind of soon.
Because, like, I'm a different person after the pandemic.
Yeah.
I'm a different human being. Like, a lot has changed. I'm in better shape and my knees work less.
And, like, we're tired faster.
Yeah.
Doing things socially is harder and takes longer. Because, like, I definitely went outside in the cold instead of been around people a couple times last night because I was like, it's crowded. I'm not really cool with that now in the way I used to be.
I mean, like, I used to have a weekly show every Wednesday.
We found a faster route via I-95 South, which saves 3 minutes. If you prefer to stay on the current route, tap no thanks.
3 whole minutes.
Yeah, I think it's going to auto change it because if I don't sit up and hit the button, it's just going to do it.
Whatever, GPS.
95 South is the turnpike, though, so I wonder if it was trying to take us around the turnpike briefly.
Maybe.
Because maybe, like, there was traffic on the turnpike.
But, like, I used to have...
2 miles, take the Sawmill Parkway exit toward
Oh, I guess we're taking it now. All right.
Oh, okay. Ooh.
Well, I guess we're going to be doing some different driving now, so maybe this is where we sign off?
All right, yeah, because otherwise we're going to be confused and scared.
Yeah, so I'm going to have to do a little bit of focused driving, so that's going to do it for this edition of On the Road with +2 Comedy. Where can people find us, Laura? You
can email us at the Stay Doomed Show or on Facebook and Twitter at Stay Doomed.
And now we will probably cut to a post-recording where we tell you, like, what we're watching next week.
Yep.
But from the car, we're done. So, goodbye from the car. Take it away, future Noah. Thank you, Car Noah. Future Noah here to fill you in on what's going to be happening next week. Next week, we pay homage to the late, great Norm Macdonald as we check out what is being classified as a TV movie, but it is really a pilot for a show that did not get picked up called Back to Norm. So that's what we'll be watching next week, and it's time for the November vote. What do you think we should be watching next time after Back to Norm? Recently we found a cavalcade of lost pilots thanks to a user on the RI Pilot subreddit. So I ask you, what would you like us to cover? Would you like us to cover Battletoads, a cartoon adaptation of the popular Impossible NES game Battletoads? Or would you like us to look at the 2011 attempt to bring a comic book to life, It's Wonder Woman? Or would you like us to take a look at a terrible Fox show that begged the question, what happens when you cast a football player as a lead? It's Lawless. Or finally, the spin-off to the popular but terribly ended sitcom How I Met Your Mother. It's the pilot for How I Met Your Dad. So those are your choices. You have Battletoads, you have Wonder Woman, you have Lawless, and you have How I Met Your Dad. We'll be doing that one in 2 weeks after we do Back to Norm. So go to Twitter right now. That's at Stay Doomed, and vote. And the top two will move on to our patrons poll, and our patrons will decide what we watch in 2 weeks. Apology again, the poll was won by Evil Monkeys, and then we lost the footage. So we are still desperately trying to get the footage for our apology episode where we do Evil Monkeys. Thank you so much for listening. We'll be back to normal episodes of Stay Doomed next week. Thank you so much to everyone who came out and saw us in Massachusetts. You can always reach us at Stay Doomed on Twitter or at the Stay Doomed Show at gmail.com. I'm at +2 Comedy. Laura can be found at Bean Bunny Lives. Until next time, stay doomed.